Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modeling tutorial. And today in this episode we're going to continue with our Ford GT here. In the last episode we worked across the back here and made it look quite nice, added some little extra to the top there. We worked on the exhaust tips too, so we're looking quite good on that rear bumper there. I think what we'll do is let's jump around to the front here, because this door is going to be a bit of a pain. It's going to be kind of tricky to work out. So I think we'll maybe start here today. So firstly I'm going to go and quick duplicate special on that. Let me isolate the selection. Before we do what we usually do, where we run around and add a little bit of depth to this, what I want to do is I just want to fix what we've got kind of going on down here, because in this file here it does look like it's going to be a little bit tricky for us. So first things first, if I hit 3, we can see that we've got all these kind of extra faces that are all kind of going inside each other, so it's just a little bit complex down here. So I think what we want to do first is we want to get rid of some of the complexity that we have in here. So firstly, let's just go grab our target weld. I put these in here first to add structure, but I think they're probably not going to be helping too much. So I'm going to target weld that one closed there, and then we've got the kind of following bit in here. I'm going to target weld that close as well. So we've just got that one face that's in there. And I think what we'll do is we'll maybe take that one away as well, just leaving us with what we have up here. Let me turn my edge slide on, take that in there. So what I've just tried to do there is just take away a little bit of the kind of extra edges that we don't really need, and we can see that we're starting to make a little bit of a better shape inside there. Next, I think what we'll probably want to do is, I think we'll want to grab all of these edges here, and I'm going to hit Control E. And I think I'm just going to pull those in on the blue. I'm going to pull them in quite far, maybe to about here, because obviously the more distance we have, the kind of more it will help inside there. I'm going to take these, let me get rid of my edge transform. I'm going to take these and let's just tidy these up a little bit and bring them in here. Just something like that. And then maybe just make those look a little bit more presentable inside there. And again, we're not really going to see too much of that under there. We can maybe take that in that direction a little bit there. Okay, so now if we hit 3, we can see that we're really now starting to get rid of all the craziness that we had inside there, which is good. Before we do anything else, I'm going to go and take all of these here. I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to pull those in there. And I think by the time we get down to this point, we're going to be okay to be a lot thinner. So let's grab that one and this one. And I'm just going to pull those in to kind of roughly their usual spots. And take that down as well. Okay, it's actually, I'm just going to hold V and we'll snap to that. We'll just pull that out there. I'm maybe going to hold V and snap over there, and we'll maybe take that. Something like that. Okay, so now if we hit 3, we're starting to see that we've got a much better shape going on over here. We're going to want to help kind of solidify some of these lines, so let's maybe start dropping in some edge loops. I think I'm going to drop one here and here, because I think we're going to want that to be a bit of a harsh edge, and then I can hit 3. So we can see that edge inside there is looking nice and defined. I think we're going to want to drop one down here too, but we're going to want it to stop. So let's maybe drop in a vertex there just to kind of pause any lines coming through. And I'm going to grab my insert edge loop. I'm going to drop that in here. And I think what we'll want to do for this is we're going to want this edge to come down here. Actually, we'll go straight past it, down there, and then underneath. Okay, so I think we're going to want to do something like that. And with that in mind, we're going to grab my target weld. We're going to get rid of this triangle. I'm just going to target weld that down there. Okay, and then I'm going to get rid of that extra little dot just inside there. So I think that's going to be quite nice. So we can see that's coming in down there. Because we've added that extra shape, we do have a little bit more of this coming back in, but we'll sort that in a second. So I think in order to fix that there, well actually before we fix that, let's run another. So I'm going to grab my insert edge loop tool. We're going to drop one. That's the wrong tool. I'm going to grab my insert edge loop. I think we'll need to put that dot back in there. So I'm going to grab my insert edge, just drop one down here nice and low. And then with my multi-cut, I'm going to come across. We're going to go all the way to this edge here. And around the corner. If it will let me connect here, which it won't for some reason. Maybe just hit delete on that, and let's just maybe pop it back in. So I'm going to grab these edges here and take that in there. And I'll be able to target weld that one back into that section there, and then we can merge these two low ones together. Your ones might have been able to allow you to do that, but for some reason it was a bit sticky with my one. And then again, I'm going to target weld that one, this one over here, just to bring us back into a four-sided shape there. So that's looking okay. If we hit 3 now, we can see that we've got a nice defined little section there. So let's have a think about this fix. I'm going to grab my insert edge loop. We have a triangle here, so this is going to allow us to drop in an edge down here. Let me actually get rid of this extra vertices because we don't need that there. So let's go insert edge loop, and I'm just going to drop this down. Maybe we'll hit 3, and then we can kind of see what's happening here. If I hit Ctrl Z, we can see that we're dropping there. We kind of want to hit 3 here just to kind of raise this up a little bit. I'm not sure how high we really want to go. Maybe a bit higher than that, something like that. So we can see now that we've got that line inside there, which is adding a bit more support here, which means it's not going to drop so low down and kind of overlap with what we have there. And of course, because that's a triangle, it's going to make a nice four-sided shape for us. So we can see that whole bit there is now looking quite nice, and we can see that our general face here isn't affected by that extra edge that's been added in there, which is good. So I think that whole section now is looking quite nice and somewhat complete. So maybe what we could do is we can start going around the edge of this. So let's take all of our usual bits. I'm going to do this bit by bit just so that we don't mess it up if we're trying to do it all on the component. Let's merge those ones together. I'm going to grab these 3 and hit Ctrl E, and let's drop those down there. Okay, and maybe let's target weld the lower one up to the top. So I've got that flowing around there quite nicely. Inside here, we'll maybe just select all of these most lowest faces, or edges, shall I say. So we'll grab all of those. We're going to hit Ctrl E, and I'm just going to pull those in a touch. This one, I'll probably want to pull up a touch, like that. And then maybe let's just merge those, edit mesh and merge those together, just so they meet in the middle a little bit. I'm going to grab all of these sideward facing ones. Just real quick, I'm going to grab these edges and just hit Ctrl Delete, just to make it a little bit easier. Bringing these in, so let's bring those ones in here, and then these ones can come down here. Let's do some target welding again. Can't quite see. I think we'll go in with that. Maybe just adjust that kind of to help that out. And then down here, let's maybe just merge these two. So select them both, edit mesh, and we'll hit merge on those. Okay, and then whilst we're here, let's go and throw those edges there back in. Okay, so I think that's looking good. Let's grab this one, pull that in too. Got a little edge in here, I want to make sure we don't miss. I'm going to run all the way up the side. think we'll maybe take that one as well. I'm going to hit Control E for that and pull those in. Okay. I think I'll take these ones down, so I'm going to take them both down a little bit, and then we can target weld the one down there. Okay. I think for the next bit we're going to take these last edges here. I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to pull those down, but I think I'll also pull them a little bit over here, like so. And let's target weld those, and then let's also weld those ones too. Okay, so I think that's all looking quite nice. So let's hit 3. You can see that we've got no real issues around this door just now. So let's go grab our insert edge loop, and I'm going to drop one on either side there and then one down there, just like we have on the front. Maybe what we'll do is let's bring that in just here. Okay, so we can see we're following that line over there as we run around here quite nicely. Let's go down here. Let's maybe start, I'll continue adding on this underside. So maybe we'll work from the bottom to the top. So let's drop in an edge. I think we'll maybe want 2 here. We'll want one just there, and then maybe one here as well. So we see that now is looking nice and tight underneath there, which is nice as we come across. Let's maybe bring this in as well. So let's grab all of these just so we can kind of make sure that we're running and we're tucking nicely inside there, which I think we are. So that's looking okay. So I'm happy with all of this kind of frontal bit. Let's think about this rear section. I think we should be able to just run one singular edge loop all the way up here. So we'll drop that in there. You can see that stopped just here. So let's go, and I'm just going to jump across this triangle and then drop another edge loop a little bit lower down here, which will allow me now to bridge that gap. So do something like that. Okay, so that's looking nice and tight. We've got some nice curvature up and around there too, which is looking good. We're going to want to tighten up this edge. So here we have this edge that's running through. So let's go and insert an edge loop here to match. I'll drop that in just there. In the next bit, as it runs down, that all kind of tightens up a little bit less. So we'll think about that in a few when we get to that stage. Let's drop one in just there as well to run up and along there. So let's see how we're kind of looking for that. So we can see we've got that nice defined line running along, which is just going to match perfectly from what we have across there, which is good. I think the last thing we'll maybe want to do here is we are going to want to run an edge. We're going to have to draw this one in because it's a little bit awkward. So I'm going to grab my multi-cut tool. Don't know why we've gone down there. Okay, so it's not really biting on here for some reason. Okay, maybe I'll work from this side, it's looking a little bit weird over there. Oh my god. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go in nice and close up here. Let's maybe jump all the way up there. And then up here. And then up there as well. Just going to hit enter at that point, because what we're going to want to do is we are going to want to target weld these. Let me just bring in our wireframe, just so I know which one to target weld where. We can see this line's running parallel up there, so let's take that one up there, and then I'll take this one down like that. I'm going to grab my multi-cut tool again and run along this top edge here. through there. Okay, so we can hit 3 on both of those. And now we can see with that kind of extra in there, I think we've got a little problem just here. I'm just going to pause the video real quick just to fix what's going on here. Okay, so I just had to, I don't know if you guys are going to have the same problem, but I just had to merge those vertices there. There was a little bit of an issue there, but we can now hit 3, and we can see that all that topology is running nicely down there. We can see that those edges are matching up nicely too. So I think I'm quite happy with the door and how it's sitting. So let's maybe go and drop our paint onto there. Just bring everything back out in as well, and I'll do the same up here. Okay, so that's looking good. I think that's looking really nice, especially in this area down here. I think we've managed to nail that quite well. We could maybe think about this bit here. So let's go, I'm just going to grab the whole of the edges for this, and I'm going to bring this in just a touch. And I'm maybe going to just bring these ones across just to kind of match that same distance over there. And let's just see here, I'm maybe just going to take this one just again to match what we have there. Okay, and let's just push that over a little bit too. Let's grab our insert edge loop, so we'll drop that down here. Let's take one to the bottom. And then we want to match the geometry above by adding a couple in there, and then we'll drop that one in there too. Okay, we'll hit 3 on that. It's looking quite nice. Let's go and grab all the lower vertices here. I'm going to bring those further down. Okay, maybe one more thing we'll do to the door is let's go grab insert an edge loop down there. Okay, I should have ran the whole way. Just going to hit 3 here just to make sure it's not done anything to our section in there, which I don't think it has. I think that's all still looking nice inside there too. And then let's go and add our gloss to that section as well. Okay, so that's looking quite good. Let's see if we can quickly throw a duplicate special on that one too, which we can. Okay, so I think for the most part there we are looking pretty good. We do have a couple more panels to extract. So one thing I noticed was that this edge here continues the whole length down there, and it seems to kind of run just up and along underneath. So one thing I was thinking for this potentially is that I don't think we need this extra line that runs along here all the way. I think what we could probably do is actually slowly merge up here. So what I'm going to do is maybe get rid of all of these. But I think we'll maybe keep those. So I'm going to hit Control and delete, and then target weld that one up there. Just going to turn on my edge slide. Maybe take that up. Okay, so we're going to slowly move up here to just underneath that extra little wing bit that comes off there. So let's maybe think about how we can extract this. A little bit awkward because of the shape of the car. So let's maybe go in and we'll try an edge loop. And we'll drop an edge loop, if we can see, under here. Drop an edge loop all the way along, just underneath there. Okay. And then we're going to want to come along, because we've got this extra awkward little bit here. I'm just going to target weld that line up there. And then with my multi-cut, I'm going to draw in the rest. And this is quite good actually, because it means that we're going to kind of lose the awkwardness that we did have over here. I'll quickly grab those two and just use my move tools to make sure I didn't select anything from behind, and I'm going to go to edit mesh and hit merge on those. And then we should be able to just grab all those extra little bits. Going to hit delete. So I've got that whole line running off there, quite nice. So I've got that panel gap that runs up through there, which is good. I think though what I'm going to want to do is just delete, because we did end up selecting all of those, which we don't want, so let's just hold down control and get rid of those. Okay, so we're going to hit delete again. So we just want to get rid of that line that's going to run all the way along and underneath there. That should in theory help us out a little bit as well. Okay. I don't think that's going to do much in terms of separating though, because it's still obviously connected over here as well. One thing we could maybe make a start on, since we've got most of the rear done, I think in the next episode I would quite like to maybe have a go at the spoiler. We could have a go at the brake lights here, the rear tail lights. These are quite an interesting design, because we've got like a little kind of ridged section at the back here, and then we've got the actual light bit in front, which is quite cool. So I've got some reference images of these, and I think what we're going to want to do with this is we are going to want to make it out of a fresh component, obviously. I don't think our blueprints are really going to help us out too much in terms of putting this together, but let's just go for it anyway. So I'm going to just grab what we currently have and just get rid of that, and maybe just pull it out over to one side there. I think we're going to want to maybe do this in two kind of bits. So I'm going to take in a section here, a brand new cylinder. I'm just going to get rid of that, and I'm going to rotate this around here 90 degrees, and I'm going to get this set in position. So this is going to be like the first section, which has like the little ridged bits on. Let's get our rear view on as well. Okay, so something like that. Let's get it pulled out as well so we're in line. So we can see here that we want to be a little bit bigger. About there. So I think that's going to be okay. I'm going to increase the subdivision axes here, and I think we'll maybe go for maybe 60, maybe 40 would be enough, because I want to have good enough detail as we run around, but then not too much at the same time. So let's maybe bring that one back here, like so. I'm going to hit Control D and take this forward, and this is going to be the actual light section. I'm going to do that as a completely separate component, so maybe bring that back like so. So that there's going to be our actual lights. This back section here is going to be the kind of portion that runs behind it. Now, I think what we'll maybe want to do for this is I think we're going to probably want to scale this down. And again, it's almost impossible for us to kind of see how big we want this in these blueprints, because the resolution is just not quite there. So maybe pull that over here. I'm going to insert an edge loop about here. Take that back a little bit. I'm going to grab all the vertices for this apart from the front ones. I'm going to grab that scale tool. I'm going to pull this up. And I think what we'll want for this is we'll want this to match. Actually, we don't want it to match. We'll maybe go just a little bit here. I'll maybe take down those edges in the center there. So I think we maybe want to go something like that. We're going to make these maybe a bit further forward. Okay. And again, still I think maybe a little bit smaller. So I think we're maybe something like this. We're going to want to go in and grab all of the kind of ridges for this. So let's maybe take these two. And I'm going to count to 5. So on the 5th one, I'm going to select again. So 1, 2, 1. Actually, let's maybe go this one here. What we got there? So we'll go 1, and then we're going to miss 4. And we're going to go again, and then miss 4. I think maybe let's maybe miss 3 and then go again. So I'm just going to quickly select all of these. Okay, so I've selected all of those around. Let's hit Control E, and I'm maybe just going to pull up on the blue there. And what we want to do for this, I think, is we want to make it so that the kind of circumference of this meets that of what we have for the main tail line. So I think we want to go and do something like that, which I think looks fine. I'm maybe going to scale these in. Like so. And then maybe with the world here, I'm just going to push them back. Okay, so I think we're wanting to look something like that. We'll maybe take all of the edges here, all the vertices. I'm just going to go for the vertices on this front point. I'm going to grab all of these here. And I'm going to scale those in so that they're a bit more uniform in terms of that shape there. So I'm going to scale those down there. I'm going to grab all that's on this side, I'm going to scale that in so it's flat. I'm just going to pull that in there. So I've got kind of like an interesting shape going on with those. I'm going to maybe select all of those edges. I'm going to take all of the, maybe actually we'll leave the front. I'm going to take all of these as well. So grab all of these. Okay, I think maybe we'll take all of these inner ones as well at this lowest point. Because I think what we'll want to do is we'll just want to do a nice single bevel for these. Okay, it's almost there. So we'll take those. I'm not going to care too much about the back, but I do think we'll maybe want to take these front ones. Here, maybe I'm just going to hold down Shift and Control. I'm going to grab all of those. I don't think I want these ones. I'm going to deselect all of these ones here. Okay, and then I'm also going to hold down Control and deselect all of the kind of central ones there. I'm going to go for a bevel. Maybe go for like maybe a 0.7. And go for 3 segments. I'm maybe going to go for a fraction of 1. Maybe a fraction of 0.8 actually. And then 3 segments. So we've got a really nice kind of shape going on as part of that, which is quite nice. Okay, I'm thinking that's looking quite good. Maybe what we'll do is we'll finish that front portion of the light off in the next episode. Let's maybe tuck that in here. You should be able to see on the side view where that should sit, which is about here. Okay, so we've got that first section in there. I'm going to maybe apply a material to this as well. Looks like the gloss black should work quite nicely for that inside there. And then I think in the next episode what we'll do is we'll then have a go at building the rest of the kind of outer portion of that tail light. I think we do in the center, we want to get rid of a little bit of this because I think we do have some honeycomb mesh in there as well. So we've got a little bit more work to do on that, but so far we're looking quite good. So if you enjoyed this episode, guys, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. We're looking quite good on this car so far just now. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you in the next one.